Sometimes you don't want to take your Canon C200 with you, and in those times you need a travel kit. So today I thought I'd talk to you guys about what's in mine. Let's talk about it. What's up everybody, welcome back to NBC Arts. On this channel we talk about filmmaking gear, tips and tutorials, and today we are going over what's in my travel kit for 2020 or every day or whenever you want to be. So today we are out at one of my favorite places in the whole entire world, and that is a nature preserve that's near my house. I'm sitting right next to the lake. The reason why we're not filming in the studio this week is not because I actually wanted to go outside, but it's because I have a wasp infestation after Callie left last week, which was such a fun video. I haven't seen her in so long. There might be some future plans with her coming up pretty soon, so just stay tuned for that. But that's for a different video. Anyway, I have a wasp infestation in my studio. I know of like all the places in my house that they could have gone. They decided in my studio. They chewed through my drywall and they flew around and they were just, it was a mess. Anyway, I had to call an exterminator. Everything's fine now. But then family has now come to stay with me for a couple months through this month or whatever, and so there's not really a whole lot of quiet time there right now. So hey, we got to come out to a nice place like this. So most times you don't really want to take a huge massive cinema camera around with you anywhere you go, especially if it's just like a day trip to somewhere like this, or if it's more of a laid back shoot or a photo shoot, because cinema cameras don't take photos. So the first item that I want to talk about today is the camera that I use when I'm on my day trips or I'm traveling to a different country or a different state or wherever, and that is the Canon EOS RP. We've done a review on this camera before. I'm in love with this thing. I've loved it ever since I bought it. The 1080p is great, the photos turn out amazing, and yeah, it's just an all-around great lightweight camera for me to take around when I'm not needing my C200 for anything, or if I just want to go on a casual photo shoot. So the next thing I want to talk about is support. Now support, I carry a couple of tripods around with me. One of them I'm using right now to film me, and that is the Gikoto AT24 tripod. This is kind of the ultra compact version of the one that everybody seems to like and buy. This one had flip locks on it, and that's the one thing that I kind of don't like about the tripod, is that the flip locks are kind of like a little bit flimsy and stuff like that. But other than that, it's a great solid tripod, love it a lot, and it's come in handy especially for time lapses or long exposures and stuff like that. You want to make sure you have a nice solid tripod with you whenever you are traveling. The second tripod that I usually carry with me is what I'm sure I've talked about this before, but that is the Joby Gorillapod. Now I know the switch pod exists and stuff like that, but I like the versatility of this thing, and the switch pod for me, it's like I can't get low angles, I can't put it in a tree. Like, I mean, sure, this thing's kind of bulky, cumbersome, and like gets really loose after a while, but I mean, for what I use it for, it's not too bad. I don't use the tripod plate that comes with it. I have like attached like a little Arca Swiss quick release plate, because I use the capture clip from Peak Design, and that is Arca Swiss compatible, so I just kind of screwed on a little Arca Swiss quick release plate on top of here, and it works really great. Speaking of Peak Design, that is the bag that I have decided to carry this thing in, and that is the Peak Design Everyday Backpack version 1 in tan. I love this bag so much. I bought this bag a couple years ago, and it's been amazing ever since. I bought it when I was in college, so I used it for like my textbooks and for taking cameras around. I used it for my job when I was doing a video job down in Salt Lake and stuff like that. This thing has been through hell. It's been through a beating, and it's amazing. It has room for all of my camera gear. I can stuff a camera, a couple lenses, a drone, batteries for the drone, batteries for the camera, filters, whatever else I need, a microphone for even. So this thing is just the best bag in the whole world. They come out with a version 2 now, so if you want to look into buying this bag, you want to make sure you get that version. Sorry if I'm kind of looking over here. There's like, I'm just so distracted today. There's so much stuff around me. So before we talk about the rest of the stuff like microphones, lenses, filters, whatever else I like to bring with me when I'm traveling or going on a day trip, let's take a couple of nice photos of the wildlife around here and maybe get a sick time lapse. So as for lenses, I'm going to talk about the one that I use the most on my camera, and that is the one that I'm filming on right now, and that is the Tamron 17 to 35 f2.8 to f4 lens. Now the variable aperture thing, some people like it, some people don't. It doesn't really bother me so much, is because I got this specifically for a vlogging / YouTube lens, and so normally I'm not really changing exposure or focal lengths all that much, and so if I zoom in and out and the f-stop changes, it doesn't really bother me that much, and f2.8 to f4 is only like a stop, so honestly it's not really as noticeable as some people think. This lens was only about $600, and that's basically the reason why I bought it, because this whole kit is not meant to have really expensive nice gear in it, because this is the kit that I'm going to take with me on a daily basis, whether I'm doing something for work, or if I'm doing a photo shoot, or if I'm traveling somewhere. And if I took all my expensive gear with me, there would be a lot more likely chance for that to get broken, and be at a lot more money than I would if this stuff would get broken. But all that said, it is still a really nice lens. The only thing I really wish it had was IS, and it doesn't have that in this lens. But the image stabilization in the Canon EOS RP does do okay. But if I did want one thing in this lens, if they come out with a version 2 of this lens, is to put image stabilization in there. The second lens that I take with me is a tried and true, something that is a staple in everybody's kit, or should be, and that is the Canon 50mm f1.8. I love this lens. I've never owned this lens until recently. I had the 50 to 100mm Sigma, and I didn't really see a need to get this lens, but once I stepped up the full frame, I needed to kind of get a couple new lenses so that I can go along with the full frame body, and this was one of them. I love this lens. This is for like portraits, street photography, whatever else I need it to do. It has a 1.8 aperture, so it's really fast. It's that shallow depth of field that everybody loves. But other than that, yeah, it's a really great lens. Nice to throw around, and again, it's not super expensive. So if this thing were to go down in battle, in the heat of battle, on somewhere where I'm traveling or whatever, I'm not out a whole lot of money. This thing's only like $125, I think. If you haven't got one of these yet, go pick one up for sure. There's a lot of reviews on here, so I don't think I'm going to be doing a review on this exact lens. Now for filters. Filters are something that are super important for everybody to have in their kit. Right now I'm using a variable ND filter by KNF Concept on this lens right now. Not a super expensive ND filter. If I were to go back and get another one, or if I wanted to recommend kind of a higher end one, if you're kind of wanting to get one for more professional work, I would recommend the Tiffin one. I love Tiffin filters to death. They're like my favorite filter company. Schneider makes great ones. This is a great one for throwing around and kind of a travel lens. Another lens that I would recommend getting is a polarizer lens for if you want to take like reflections of, like, say, this lake behind me or whatever, and you want to see down through the bottom whenever you're traveling. But I don't have one today in my kit, and I haven't really got one yet, but that is definitely on the must-have list that I need to buy, the ever-growing list of gear that I need to buy. And last but not least, for the travel kit is the microphone that I'm using right now, and that is my Deity D3 microphone. I didn't get the Pro version, I got just a regular D3 version. I love this mic to death. It's like $100, super cheap, sounds great, takes one AAA battery, and it comes on and off with the camera, so I don't have to remember to turn the mic on and the mic off every time I'm trying to film a video like this. So that's just another great feature of this mic, and I would highly recommend it. They did come out with a D4 one that kind of has like the microphone capsules on either side, so if I'm like talking behind the camera, you can hear me and stuff. I didn't get that, but that does look like a very interesting mic, so if you're looking to get a new mic for like vlogging and stuff like that, that's something I would highly recommend. Well guys, that's about it for this video. It's really nice getting out in the summer sun today. Fall is almost here, which I'm super excited for, which means the leaves are going to be changing, and the best part about living in Utah is that you do get all 4 seasons, and so I have some really great plans for some future videos of going up and capturing some of the great, amazing sceneries that you can capture here on photo in Utah, so stay tuned for that. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, leave a like and a comment down below. If you want to see more from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss a single video I produce, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.